All right, everybody, we can go ahead and get started with Coach. Graf, you can go ahead.
All right, Coach, absolute gut check win tonight. You're down 10 with 4 minutes to go, and you were able to pick yourself up and come. You were almost in the same situation a couple nights ago against Denver. So I guess the experience paid off.
Well, listen. I have talked to you guys all year about our team's resilience all year, and I'll stick with it. Like, we've had games where we weren't good. We've had games where we've given up leads, like tonight. But this team has never quit on anything. After a bad game, or the other night in Denver, way down, come back tonight down 10 with 4 minutes, get it to overtime. I mean, Denver game, we had a shot to get it to overtime. Had a shot to get it to overtime. Had Z going to the rim with a chance to get it to overtime. So, we needed that. I mean, there are a lot of things in the game that we didn't do well. Our turnovers are just, they're killing us. They're killing us. I mean, it's really, that's the thing that if we want to close out the season really well and give ourselves a chance, that's the thing we're going to have to stop. I mean, 21 turnovers again tonight, but none in overtime. But we've got to take care of the ball. But we got it done, so I'll take it.
I could go a number of directions, but I'm going to ask you, when was the last time you saw someone personally foul out 3 different players?
Yeah, pretty much. We had to get 7 fouls on Towns because they changed the one because the Minnesota bench said that it was McDaniels that fouled. Pretty obvious he wasn't in the play. And I've never seen a ref change the call simply based on what the bench said. It wasn't either one of his colleagues out there that changed the call. He just went ahead and changed it. So then we had to go get a 7th one on him, and Z did that too. I actually think he got about an 8th and a 9th too, but that's a whole nother story.
And more to Graf's question, what do you just think about how relentless he is? I mean, they're packing the paint on him all game, and you just kept coming at him, and it just kind of, in overtime, it, kind of just started going your way.
But again, right? I mean, even though down the stretch he didn't make a lot, the fact that Zoe made 8 threes gives you just a little bit more space. I mean, shooting just helps. It does. It just helps. And gives him a little bit more room. So, and he doesn't need a lot. He really doesn't.
Did you feel like things did loosen up because, Zoe was hitting threes and as the game wore on?
I mean, a little bit. Yeah. Plus, I don't know why, but that's certainly one of the reasons things loosened up. Yeah. Zoe made 8 threes, so that's really, really helpful.
Yeah, you mentioned Lonzo, just a career high scoring night for him, added 11 rebounds, 8 assists. Just what did you think about his overall game tonight?
I mean, I thought he was great. I really thought he was great. And I thought it was one of the better jobs he had done on top of that of keeping us organized and poised coming down the stretch. He had us organized. And I thought that was good.
Hey, Stan, I know it wasn't the best overall shooting night for Brandon, but he was really kind of key late in that fourth quarter, getting into guys, drawing fouls. What did you like about what he was able to do in terms of, my shot's not falling, I'm going to just get you to foul me and send me to the line?
Yeah, I mean, and he stayed really aggressive, and that's obviously what you want to see from your best player. Sometimes shots go, sometimes they don't, but when you get into winning time, those guys have to be aggressive, and he was.
Yeah, you guys fall behind by 10 with 4 minutes left. Just what were y'all able to do just to claw your way back in and force it into overtime?
I mean, the only way you can get back in, just like the other night in Denver, is with your defense. Like, you can't be giving up buckets. You're going to run out of time. So our defense was really, really good. We created some turnovers. We got out in transition, and we were able to get to the rim and score, and get to the free throw line. Scoring with the clock stopped is a big help. You're fighting time, so that was good. We really played the last 4 minutes about as well as we could possibly play them.
And how meaningful is it to get a win like this leading into, the two biggest games of the season, probably Golden State on Monday and Tuesday?
Well, this was the biggest game of the season, and now Monday will be the biggest game of the season. And, one of the things we talk about it a lot anyway, but especially now where you are is, they're all big. Every game you play, the game you're playing that night has to be the biggest game of the year. And that's how you have to approach it, because we can't afford very many losses. Obviously, we're fighting with Golden State, so everybody will focus on that. But if you give away a game tonight, the Golden State, it just gets further and further out of reach. So for now, tonight was the biggest game of the year. And then on Monday, that'll be the biggest game of the year. So we'll get ready and we'll play it well, I'm sure.
Coach, is it sign of growth of your team the way that you close the fourth quarter and the game in the overtime?
I think that we've certainly had some growth, but it's a process, it's 2 steps forward, 1.5 steps back. It's slow. We're back to being a really heavy turnover team, but our defense has gotten better. And then today our defense took a step back until the end of the game, so it's just, you're always working. The thing that where our team has done a good job is they stay with it. They keep working. They don't just cash it in. This would have been an easy one to let go today. Down 10 with 4 minutes, an easy one to let go, and we didn't. So I think the Denver game helped us a little bit in that approach, with showing us that there's time up there if we just keep playing. So there was some growth today.
Coach, could you talk a little bit about Billy's game tonight? Because it looked like he came up with a couple key defensive stops on Carl down the stretch, and of course that big bucket to send the game into overtime.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, Billy's a really skilled offensive guy. He's done an unbelievable job keeping himself ready. I thought he battled hard tonight defensively. Karl Anthony Towns, a really, really tough matchup. And then Billy got some great active hands on a couple of plays down the stretch, and, ends up with another double-double. So Billy's been key to everything that we've been able to do here for the last 3 quarters of the season, and love having him.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach. Thanks for your time.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, if you want to get your hands up for Bled. Andrew Lopez, you can go ahead.
Hey, Bled, what changed for you guys in those last 4 minutes? And I mean, obviously this was one you needed to have, but what changed on the floor for you guys?
Well, I think we locked in. I think we finally did locked in the way we should have been in those type of situations. And only experience, taught us, how to do that.
Was there anything said? Did anybody say anything, or was it just kind of a collective, just figuring it out?
I mean, Stan, obviously, but after Stan, it was more so everybody knew what time it was, and we locked in and made big time plays.
This last month and a half or so, like you guys really have improved on the defensive end. It's like, I don't know, something like 10th or what do you feel like has gotten better overall?
We, talking, communicating, helping each other, being there for one another. When a man drive, we know we got somebody backside to help us out, and we rotate out of that. So, I think we've been doing a good job of that.
And we've talked to you a lot this year about the process a young team goes through as they're learning how to win. I guess, what was it like just seeing Lonzo and Zion step up the way they did tonight in the game? You absolutely need it.
I mean, like you said, man, on the experience. We've been through it time and time again. Somebody had to step up. And it was them too. They had the ball in their hands a lot, and we need them to make plays, right? Right or wrong. We're gonna live. We're gonna live with that.
Do you believe that like this kind of momentum can carry into Monday? I know that's obviously Stan talked about this being the most important game of the night, and now Monday's going to be the most important game of the night. You think the momentum can carry into that for you guys?
Oh, no question. But at the same time, I think we got to enjoy this win while we can and, lock back in on Monday. So we'll worry about that when we get there.
In that same regard, you guys are 3 games back of the Warriors. You haven't played them yet this year with 3 games to go against them. It maybe not just about the Warriors, but how much right now, given that it's within grasp, are you guys talking about making this push and it starting with this back-to-back here against Golden State?
We're just going to take it a game at a time. We're going to start with Monday, go to the game plan, give ourselves a chance, like we did tonight, and try to pull it out.
And what was it like just watching Zion basically follow out their entire front line? Cat goes down to OT, Naz goes down. What was that?
I mean, I'm not surprised. The way he goes to the hole, should be more of those, honestly. But they think they do a great job of officiating. And he do a great job of not complaining, and just play through it.
All right, thank you, Blade. Appreciate your time. Zion's on the way if you want to get your hands ready. All right, everybody, we can get started with Z. Christian, you want to go ahead?
Zion, you guys were down 10 with about 4 minutes to go. What do you feel like allowed you guys to get back into that game?
Just the will to win and being locked in and helping each other out on the defensive end.
Zion, obviously a lot of people focused on the end of the Denver game, specifically what happened on that last play. But I mean, you guys made a similar comeback. Is there something that you took away from that game, or just something that you think is building as far as the ability to, not give in at the end of games when you have a deficit like that?
Oh yeah, we didn't get the result we wanted in the Denver game, but like you said, we kept fighting to the very end, and that's the mindset we got to have going into these final 8 or 9 games. One game at a time, and play into the final buzzer.
Hey, Z, what just talk about the job that Lonzo and BI did tonight. I know BI's numbers weren't great, but he was able to get some key foul calls late, and then obviously the game that Lonzo played the whole night. What did you think about the job that he was able to do, knocking down shots and giving you guys some space on offense?
I think whenever we needed a momentum change in our favor, Lonzo was there. Whether it was hitting a three or just creating something on a fast break or just defense. Whenever we needed a momentum change, Lonzo was there for us tonight. And like you said, Brandon, he said his numbers won't show it, but I mean, he played a great game. He hit shots when we needed him to hit shots. Played great defense, and like you said, he got some key foul calls again.
And you were able to come up with some big buckets there in OT, fouled out both of their centers. I should say, I guess, what was your mentality in that OT, whenever you had the ball in your hands?
My teammates trusted me to go out there and be me. So my mindset was keep attacking and just make the right play.
You played heavy minutes next to Billy these past couple of games. Just what are your thoughts on working with him on the offensive end?
It's great working with Billy. He makes the right reads off my drive, so he's always in the right spot. And I mean, our chemistry is going to build from there.
And it seemed like, I mean, at least in this game, he's just like in that dunker spot and he's just ready and he goes up quickly. I mean, how helpful is that just to like have him in that spot and him be a quick finisher?
That's very helpful. It forces his man to make a decision on whether he's going to go up and contest me, then I can drop it off, or whether he's going to stay home, and it allows me to have an easy finish. So him being ready to catch it and go up and finish, it's a big help.
Hey Zion, it was a great win tonight. I just want to kind of look forward to your next 2 matchups against the Warriors. Obviously, you're in this race to get into the play-in. What sort of challenge does facing off against the Warriors for the first time this year, 3 times down the stretch, as you guys are trying to get into this play-in, create for you guys?
You got to take it game by game. I think it's great for us in a sense of it's almost like a practice feeling for the guys who, I know myself, for people who haven't been to the playoffs, playing a team 3 times in a short period of time. That'll be like a great practice on our mindset and mental getting ready for the games. But right now, we just got to take it game by game. Can't look past one game and go on to the others. Got to focus on one game and play as hard as we can and figure out how to get the win.
And sticking with the Golden State theme, how meaningful was it to win a game like this in the manner y'all did, leading into those, 2 games against Golden State?
I think it gives us great momentum. We got the win. And I think in the locker room, that's all we care about. So Got to win. Allows us to go back home with great momentum, and hopefully we can carry it.
You know, in a lot of situations like this where you have to make up 3 games and there's this little amount of time in the season, you have to worry about the scoreboard and you have to hope for help from all these other teams. How much do you like the fact that, you know, you're getting to play the team directly and you don't have to worry about, you know, the scores from other games, basically?
I love that. So our fate's not in nobody else's hands. It's on us to go out there and get the win. Can't ask for nothing better than that in the situation we're currently in. So, you know, the fate is in our hands. We just gotta make it happen.
All right. Thank you, Z. Appreciate your time.
All right, you guys have a good night.
All right, everybody, we can go with Zoe. Jim, you want to go ahead?
Sure. So, you guys had a pretty similar end to the fourth quarter against Denver. Obviously, the last play didn't go the way that you guys wanted it to, but what do you think about just the resiliency that you guys have had as far as at the end of some of these games to, not give in and keep, rallying at the end?
Exactly what you said, resilience. Got a lot of guys on this team that just got that fight in them, that dog in them, and it came out tonight. And we ended up going into overtime with a good stop by Z, and then he carried us in OT, and we came out with the win.
So obviously, I mean, you made a lot of threes, but you got 17 of them up. What about, the way that game unfolded, made you just like shoot that many, I guess?
They were helping in a lot on Z. So, when the ball came to me, it wasn't like it was 6'9", 6'10" closing out. It was guards closing out to me, so I had pretty good looks at it. And I was just letting it fly when it was open, and it was going in.
Hey, so do you guys think that the momentum from this can carry over into Monday? I mean, I know those are two really huge games coming up Monday, Tuesday. How much can this carry over into that?
Hopefully a lot. We're going into Monday with a must-win mentality. Not really focused on Tuesday. We got to take it one game at a time, so we can't look ahead. We got to put all our focus on that first, game Monday, and come out with a win and go from there.
Yeah, and through the first couple years of your career, you haven't been able to play in these type of big games at the end of the season. Just what is it like, to have this type of game, and on a night when you really needed this win?
I love playing like this, especially with the pressure up high. I feel like I play better. So, just blessed to be in this position. To finally be here, playing these big games for us. So, for me, just keep coming in with the same attitude and doing what I can to help my team win.
So I know in a lot of situations when you're this many games out, where you're 3 games out and there's a couple weeks left in the season, a team has to rely on scoreboard help as far as other teams beating the team that you're chasing. But you guys are playing Golden State 3 times. I mean, is that something that you like, the fact that you get to play them directly and you don't have to worry about help on the scoreboard?
Yeah, I mean, it helps a lot that, our destiny is it is in our hands. We don't really have to worry about anybody else. It all depends on us, like you said, we have 3 games against them. It isn't going to be easy at all. We know it's a tough task, but, it's possible. And that's all we can ask for is a chance. So, like I said, we're going to come in Monday ready to go.
So you set your previous career high for points in your second career game. How good does it finally feel to get that 30-point game? I know it came in a win, so it probably feels a little better. But how does it feel to finally get that 30-point game under your belt?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just happy we won. The points are going to be there, depending on the night. So I'm not really too worried about that. The fact that we won is all I care about. I know we got to, finish these last 9 strong. So that's what I'm focused on.
Ollie, go ahead.
Lonzo, the fourth quarter had been a struggle for most of the time up until about with 4 minutes to go. Can you point to anything that changed that sparked this turnaround? Was something maybe said, or was it a play that somebody made? Do you remember at all anything sparking you guys?
I know defensively we got stops that we needed. That helped a lot. And then offensively, we kind of just gave the ball to Z and, let him lead us. And he carried that into overtime and ultimately carried it to a win. So really just gave the ball to Z, cleared out, and he made the plays for us.
All right, Zoe, appreciate your time. Thanks.